welcome back. Module 5. If you've gone to this point, most people don't get to all the way through a home study course. Do you know that most people that buy a book never read past the first chapter? Isn't that something? Something like 70% of books that are purchased are never read. 98% of people who sign up for an online course for a university drop out. 98%. As soon as it gets hard, they're gone. As soon as it gets tough, they're gone. So here's my hope for you. My hope is that, since you're here and you're engaged in this, that you've been working through the study guide, you have the different workbooks, the calendar, and the contact workbook as far as building your contact list. You've got that. You're serious about this, and by now you're starting to put together what is the time you want to do this launch. How are you going to do it? Maybe even practicing. You've been working on your list. You've been figuring all these different things out, and you're putting a time in space, a moment in time out into the future that you're going to do this, that you're going to make it happen. Okay? You're going to be extraordinary. When other people are ordinary, you're going to be extraordinary. You're going to be something special. You're not going to be the people who crawl through network marketing people. You're going to be the people who run to the top of the mountain and show other people how to do the same thing. Now, some people wonder about motivation. How do you motivate yourself to do this thing when you're out there doing it by yourself? There's a concept that I love called accountability. Creating systems that will force you to do the thing that's in your best interest to do. Now, if you think about it, what was a teacher for you? Because you could go to the library and get the books and learn everything that was taught in high school, couldn't you? What was a teacher? A teacher was an accountability system. What was your school? It was an accountability system. It created some accountability for you. What was that coach for that team that said, okay, one more lap, one more push-up, one more whatever? They're an accountability system. Now, inside of accountability, I gave you all the bonuses of the benefits of doing the 20 and 30. I told you, hey, look, here's how great your life is going to be. But here's something that I know about human nature. Do you think people are driven more to gain pleasure or to avoid pain? What do you think? It's not to gain pleasure. It's to avoid pain. And if you think about it, our whole life has been about avoiding pain. When we're growing up, we're 2 years old, brush your teeth or else. Stop hitting your sister or else. Don't talk back to your mother like that or else. Consequences were built in. So we would do the right thing to avoid pain. And then we go into the educational system. If we don't do our homework, then there's consequences. There's pain. So we learn to do our homework. Then we go into our religious organizations. And if we don't follow the teachings of the church, then there's consequences built in, whether immediate right now or after death. Consequences built in. You go into the military, there's consequences built in for even questioning authority. So the people have learned to avoid that pain. They will do what's necessary. Then you go into your job. If you've been an employee for a while, you've been ingrained to only do what you're asked to do and nothing more. You've been taught to do what you're asked and nothing more. What is the minimum you can do to avoid pain in your workplace? That's what most people do. They hide in the workplace and they do everything possible to avoid pain in the workplace. So they'll show up on time so they won't get reprimanded or written up. They won't take too many sick days because they don't want that black mark on their record. You see what I mean? They won't take long lunches because they don't want to be, a target when layoffs come to the company. Whatever it happens to be. So there's the few that strive to gain pleasure, but most of us are built to avoid pain. So can we create some consequences? Can we create some systems that will help you do your 20 and 30? I can guarantee every single one of you will do 20 and 30. Guarantee it. You want to know how I can guarantee it? It's real simple. If I can create consequences, accountability, that are strong enough and personal enough for you, you'll do the 20 and 30. There's a website out there that I love called Stick, STICKK.com. Stick.com is an accountability website. And you could put your goal in there. You could go there today, if you're serious about doing your 20 and 30, and you could put your 20 and 30 goal in there. Here's the dates I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 20 and 30. Hold me accountable. And here's how Stick works. You could put your credit card in there. And if you don't hit your goal, then the money goes to whatever you designate. But here's the trick. You got to make it to a place that you cannot imagine it going to. I had an African-American gentleman at one of my events. He said, KKK is an organization he hates. Right? It's a good organization to hate. But I had him put $5,000 into Stick.com on his credit card that if he didn't hit a particular goal that it was very easy for him to hit, if he didn't do it, the money would go to the KKK in his name. Unthinkable. And guess what? He achieved his goal. You could put your ex. You have an ex that you're not particularly fond of? You could put your credit card into Stick.com, and if you don't get your 20 and 30, the money goes to your ex. Some of you are not big fans of companies like Monsanto with all their genetically modified foods. If you hate Monsanto, you can't stand it, put Monsanto into Stick.com. And if you don't hit your 20 and 30, money goes to Monsanto. I don't know what it is for you. It could be the Republicans. It could be the Democrats. It could be the NRA. It could be Planned Parenthood. Whatever is your hot button, I don't care. Whatever it happens to be. If you don't hit your 20 and 30, that money goes to one of these organizations. It needs to be unthinkable. Think about the person you dislike the most in life, the person that's been the meanest to you. And put your goal into Stick.com, put a credit card in there, and if you don't hit the goal, it goes to that person. See, you can't just give it to charity because that's too easy. Say, well, at least I gave some to charity. Nah, that's too much pleasure. You get too much of a backup with that. Now, if you don't want to do the money thing, you don't have to have money. I've done it with sports. People who are really passionate about their sports team. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, which means I hate the Green Bay Packers. If I had to wear a Green Bay Packers jersey, if I didn't hit the 20 and 30, it would be more painful than anything else. If I had to go to a Minnesota Vikings game in a Green Bay Packers jersey, are you kidding me? It would be just the ultimate pain. Cannot happen. Will not happen. Okay, so whatever that is for you. I had a gentleman in Vienna last November, and his team that he hated was Liverpool. He could not stand the soccer team Liverpool. So we put this accountability system in place. He was stuck at the base level 1 in his company, for something like 4 years. And I said, are you capable of going to level 2 by December 31st? He said, yes. Do you deserve it? Yes. Are you worthy of it? Yes. Is there anything that could stop you other than you? No. I said, okay, if you don't make it by January 1st, then you have to wear a Liverpool jersey. Your Facebook cover page needs to say, I love Liverpool. You need to go to a game of your home team in a Liverpool jersey. And he turned purple. He's like, it can't happen. He said, I'd die first. I said, perfect. Perfect. Get to that goal. Get to level 2. He went to level 4. Level 4. He went up 3 levels. Totally changed his whole family situation in 45 days. Something he could have done in the last 4 years, but he had an accountability system in place. Taking away some pleasures. Maybe take the TV out of your house until you do your 20 and 30. I had a friend of mine take out the mattresses in his house until he hit a goal and slept on the floor. Take away some pleasures until you hit your goal. So whatever this accountability system is for you, put it in place. If you're serious, go on Stick.com right now. Take a number that would hurt you, not kill you. but hurt you, and pick an organization that you can't stand and have the money go there if you don't do your 20 and 30 by the time you set. And they have referees, so they won't let you off the hook. The referees will come in and double check it. Okay? So accountability systems to force you to do the 20 and 30 when you're capable of doing it. Really, really important. Now, let's talk about getting started. You now we fast forward into the future. You now have 20 people. 20 people. 20 new distributors. Plus a bunch of customers. What do you do with those people? Please make sure that we just don't let those people down. Here's what we need to do. We need to get them started and understand that very few of those 20 are going to be prepared to do a 20 and 30 like you are. That's a serious commitment. If you come at them and say, okay, now you need to do what I just did, most of them are going to run away. It's too scary, too fast. You could plant the seed that once they get started, get moving, hey, I'll help you guide you towards this decision 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road. That's typically when I see somebody prepared to do that, unless they're super motivated and they have a radical need. You know, like me, I had a radical need in 2005 when I had to make something happen. That's when I did the last 20 and 30, okay? And it changed my whole life. You know, $7 million in income in the next 6 years from that 20 and 30 that I did. So it depends on the situation, but don't try and just assume that everybody's going to do this. Here's a concept I want you to understand. It's called over the line. When you get a person started, there's a line. And on this side of the line, it's easier to quit. And on this side of the line, it's easier to stay. And what do we want all of our 20 people to do? Stay in the business. So what are the things, if we don't have them, if they don't fall in love with the product, it's easier to quit, right? So getting a person on a product experience on this side would be one of the things that would help them become easier to stay, right? What else would become easier to quit? If they never meet anybody, they don't make any friends, make it easier to quit. So if they make some friends over here, it's easier to stay. You understand where I'm going with this? If they never go to an event, they never see the big picture, it's easier to quit. So if we get them to an event, it's easier to stay. What if they start watching every day the free videos we put on Network Marketing Pro, networkmarketingpro.com? You know, ongoing learning makes it easier to stay. If they get a check, it becomes easier to stay. If they get a customer, it becomes easier to stay. If they get a distributor, it becomes easier to stay. See what I'm saying with this? As their understanding goes up, it's easier to stay. But it's a race, because the natural path of life, gravity in network marketing flows this way. So we have to push to help these people, these 20 people, get a product experience, meet some friends, go to an event, engage in ongoing learning, get a check, get a customer, get a distributor. Get connected to what it is that we do. That's our job, is to help these 20 get over the line and help them stay over the line. Be the friend that does it with them but not for them. Because if you don't do these things, and they don't do them pretty quickly, they start to fall over into easier to quit, and they can just disappear on you. And that's what happens. Remember, the 20 turned into 12, which turned into 8, which turned into 4, which turned into 2. Because they didn't stay over the line. I mean, we got them over the line for a little. We got 12 of them over the line for a little while, and then 4 of them fell over here, and it became 8, and then 4 more fell over here, and that became 4, and then 2 of them came over here, and it became 2. And why is that? Is that normal? Yes. More than 90% of people who get a real estate license never sell one single home. That's normal. 98% of people who sign up for an online college course drop out. That's normal. Most people who start a book or purchase a book never read it. That's normal. We're not common. Inside what we do inside of network marketing, we're not common. We're extraordinary. We're different. We're entrepreneurial. We're special. We're champions. We're heroes. We are the uncommon of the world. We are unreasonable people. Unreasonable people change the world. That's what we get to do, right? So is it reasonable for you to recruit 20 and 30? No, it's hard. It's challenging. It's emotional. It's tough. You're going to want to quit 3, 4, 5 times. And you can if you want. And guess what? No one will, have a funeral for your career. They'll say, another one fell. Another one slid over here. That's okay. But I want you to be so passionate about this, and I want you to put the accountability systems in place. I want you to go after this because you deserve it. You deserve it. If you understand, let me, just recap this whole thing. What's it worth to bring in 20 and 30? What is it worth for you to bring in 20 and 30? What's that number? Success loves speed. Look at what success will do if you bring in 20 in a short period of time. You've got a chance of building something special. What if you just did this once a year? Once a year, you took 30 days and swung your life out of balance and had this incredible balanced life the other 11 months. It's a numbers game. You're going to have to go through the numbers. If you do it in 30 days, you don't have to go through as many numbers as you would if you did it in 30 months. We're going to focus on recruiting and presentation in the first 10 days, scheduling appointments and doing presentations. We're going to be doing a lot of follow-up in the second 10 days, a lot of closing in the third 10 days. Big paper. Preparation, you got commitment, sacrifice. You're going to negotiate with your world, make the time commitment, get rid of the distractions, make sure you have the tools. You're going to pick the start date and imagine this done. Imagine it completely done. You're going to go through that candidate list. You're going to go through the workbook. You're going to fill that thing out with your contacts, second degree of separation, 2 a day, networking on purpose, networking groups and long distance groups. And then you're going to separate it in a hot, warm, and cold market. You're going to do that work. Then with inviting, hot market, respect, support, and practice, warm market, direct, indirect, and super indirect, and cold market, you're going to go after everybody over the course of this 30-day period of time. You're going to give everybody a chance. Our goal is what? Education and understanding. It's not that they join. It's that they understand what it is that we have. We educate them to the point that they understand it and they can make a decision on their own. You're going to send out 200 text messages to fill your calendar with 100 appointments. That's averaging 3 a day. That's busy. That's working. That is not common. But that's averaging 3 a day for a month. You're going to do the presentation. You're going to tell the story and do the thing. Focusing on story. Don't miss the story. Become great at that. Closing, you're going to ask these 6 questions in order to be able to help a person make a decision. When you get questions or objections, just understand it's a limiting belief about themselves or about network marketing. There's a simple formula to follow. It's going to take a little practice, but you'll get good at it. Putting accountability system in place, whether it's a workout partner, it's a friend, it's stick.com. Putting some pain out there, telling the world that if you don't do it, you're going to agree to this pain. Proclaim yourself to the entire world. Tell the world what you're about to do. And then getting people started, taking these people, getting them over the line, where it's easier to stay than it is to quit. I want to just tell you something as we close this out. First, as I'm super proud of you. I'm proud of you for being involved in network marketing. That's a given. But the fact that you purchased this course, the fact that you watched it all the way through, the fact that you are ready to do something spectacular tells me something about you. It tells me that you and I are so close to being the same, it's unbelievable. I remember being back in that situation when I was 22 years old, totally desperate, 18 jobs up until that point, figuring that my life was passing me by. It sounds ridiculous at 22, but that's what I felt like. And then I found a vehicle to be able to allow me to develop myself. And the greatest prize, guess what? The greatest prize of this 30-day challenge is going to be. It's not the 20 recruits that you're going to get. That's not the greatest prize. That's a bonus. The greatest prize is the person that you're going to have to become, the fears that you're going to have to face, the actions that you're going to have to take, the determination that you're going to have to show to the world. That's the prize. The person that you're going to become in the stretch to getting these 20. And if you end up with 5 or 10 or 15, I'm still proud of you. I'm still proud of you. You shouldn't be embarrassed for that or upset about that. You're still extraordinary. But stretch for the 20. The 20 is worth it. Some of you can do a double 20. Some of you have 2 people in the household, and each of you could do 20. You're both working the business. Don't just, each of you get 10 and figure that's okay. Stretch it. Do something outrageous. So I'm proud of you. We're alike, and your dreams are worth it. And don't ever let anyone convince you that you're not worthy of all the great things that this profession can give you, because you are. Okay? You're special. You're extraordinary. And together, we're helping change the world. One distributor at a time, one product experience at a time, helping people see a better way for themselves, their families, and the people that they care about. Contribution and growth, the 2 things that fire me up more than anything else. So I'm proud of you. I'm glad you got value, and I hope to see you at some point soon, face to face. We could shake hands. You could tell me your 20 and 30 story. That will be incredible. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate you all very much, and I'll see you down the road. Take care. Bye-bye.